What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is January 1st of 2018. Well, folks, today I want to spend some time today to talk about the market leader in cryptocurrencies that I know is on the minds of many of you out there, and it is no other than Bitcoin. I've gotten many requests from those of you out there in the DataDash community to spend some time to analyze Bitcoin alone and really focus on the price action and where I see it going over the next few days or weeks in the early parts of 2018. So without further ado, we're going to jump through today, and I'm going to be talking about two different scenarios I see for Bitcoin going into the early part of 2018. And no, it's not Bitcoin going to the moon or Bitcoin crashing to zero. Both of them are bullish case scenarios, but I want you all to keep in mind that there can be multiple scenarios we look forward to based on different indicators in the market. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So the first one I want to talk about is more of the optimistic one out of the two, and that is Bitcoin is done correcting. So as we all know, Bitcoin has experienced a decent correction already. It's gone from about $20,000 at its peak, a big even level that we should have expected a little bit of resistance at, all the way down to around 13,500. So we've been seeing a decent correction, a few $1,000s in pullback for Bitcoin, which led to a few $1 billion in valuation getting chunked off and giving altcoins room to grow over the past few weeks. However, Bitcoin itself, even though it's experienced quite a decent correction, has held quite well at where we were looking for it to initially make contact with, and that is the 50-day moving average. In fact, it hasn't just hit it once and rebounded up to new highs. It's been able to steadily hold here, not only once or twice, but 5 times on the 50-day. Signaling some pretty decent price strength confirmation, or at least signaling that this thing isn't going to flash sale much lower. So it's good to see Bitcoin holding here, and this could be an indicator that Bitcoin's ready to make new highs. It's cooling down, it's taking a break from this irrational and exuberant run-up that it had back over the past few weeks. However, the signal you want to look for in regards to this is hopefully Bitcoin to hold and not go below or close below here over the next 2 to 3 days. And in doing so, hopefully start to build some curving in the price action upwards. And if we get around towards $15,000, whether it be in the next 2 to 3 days or over the next week, I'm definitely going to be considering adding a position around $15,000 because I think at that point you're going to see Bitcoin curve back up and test towards new highs above 20,000. That's the very positive bullish case scenario. The other bullish one that's calling for a little bit more of a correction is Bitcoin down to 10K. Now, why am I bullish with Bitcoin going down to 10K? Well, I believe it's hopefully going to go to 10K, and then Bitcoin's still going to run back up and make all-time highs. However, I genuinely believe that there's a chance that we could, much like how the 50-day is serving as a positive indicator here for support, see resistance with the 50-day and a close below the 50-day. And if we get that, I think that is going to signal towards the drop down to $10,000. Now, why do I think this could be a possibility? Well, obviously, I think many of you already noticed right off the bat, I play off the big evens a lot. 20,000, 10,000. It's just psychology. It's human psychology. It's one of the base things you can apply to markets is that most people like a 50% correction, just like how you like a 50% discount when you go out and shop. And this is very tendent with markets, whether it's in traditional stock markets, and yes, even with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin is something on its own. It's something different, but it definitely still follows a lot of those same technical principles because you have a lot of the same human traders and investors coming over from those markets into cryptocurrency markets. So I think personally we're not only going to see a 50% reduction in markets, which is healthy and what Bitcoin has needed for a while, but along with that as well, we've got two major things, two major indicators that I want to show off today that really make me think this could be a possibility. Well, as you all know, I tell you all to use indicators for technical analysis, and technical indicators can signal certain things, and that's a great way to use technical indicators in some cases. However, a very powerful way that people don't use technical indicators is turning towards the past. When you turn to the past and look at previous price action and how the indicators worked with the previous price action, you can gain a lot of insight into the future because price action tends to repeat itself. It happens a lot in markets, and you can see this in traditional stock markets and in cryptocurrencies, etc. So for example, I want to talk about two indicators that I'm looking at right now and how Bitcoin reacted with these indicators back towards previous bull runs and corrections. So we had the first two bull runs of this year, right here down here from around the $1,000 range up to $3,000, and the correction going into the mid part of the summer of 2017. And along with that as well, we had the bull run going into the early part of the, still going through August, my apologies, August down towards mid-September. So still over the summer, our two big bull runs. And then also our correction with the Jamie Dimon and China fund. Well, taking away all the news and headlines, what can we tell from this chart? Well, I've got two major things I want to talk about here. First and foremost, we can see that it made contact slightly below the 100-day, generally finding support at the 100-day moving average, which is taking the past 100 days of price action and averaging them out. They're usually used as a way to build price strength confirmation and hold the majority of the games of the previous rally, and we've seen that continuously over the past two corrections. The only time we didn't see that was over here, where we only made contact with the 50-day. But afterwards, it was a quick correction, and we continued on the exuberant bull run. So I think these were more of consistent market cycles to look forward to and really take information from. Well, we not only had a similarity with contact at the 100-day, but along with that as well, look at what we also had similarities in. The RSI. The RSI down here, this indicator, the relative strength index, showed a signal at 30 points in both corrections at the bottom. We can see right here, 30 at the RSI. Over here, 30 at the RSI. So again, the RSI, though I don't advise you all to just simply say, oh, look, Bitcoin is overbought, time to sell it. Well, if you would have said that there, Bitcoin went on one of the greatest bull runs it experienced throughout the entire market cycle. You don't want to use the RSI just like that. You want to see repetition in price history of the past. And I think these two corrections back here are really great ways to signal where Bitcoin possibly will go going down to the next few weeks and days. And as we can see here, the RSI is close to those levels, yet it has still not reached there. And with a correction down towards the 100-day, towards 10,000, which is lining up very nicely here at the big even, we could very well see that. So I still have yet to see Bitcoin after it stepped out and had its most overbought day in the history of Bitcoin. I still have yet to see it come down and touch the oversold area, much like it has in the past two market cycles or past two corrections. And along with that as well, I'm waiting for it to come down to around $10,000 and make contact with that 100-day. This is the second case scenario. Now, the reason I had to put some more detail into that is because we haven't reached there yet. If it turns out we have the first case scenario, which could easily happen as well, we just need to wait another 2 to 3 days to see if it'll hold above the 50-day. But if we get a solid red close and some serious volume coming in, we might be setting up for more lows down to around 10,000. I think that's the bearish case, the most bearish case you're going to see if you want to call it bearish. I still think it's very good for Bitcoin. It solidifies that, over the past year, we've had a 10 times multiple in Bitcoin's price. Not to mention, we might just have the chance to increase it by 100% over the coming weeks if we can find support there and make hopefully all-time highs afterwards. But even with all that analysis though, guys, I'm just one guy. You got to do your own research. It's not financial advice. And I would like to hear down in the comments down below where you all think Bitcoin is heading, because I know this is a very big topic and I know many people have different controversial opinions on it. I know many of the hodlers probably are saying, Nick, you're stupid to think Bitcoin could go down to 10K. Well, I'd like to hear down in the comments down below, guys. Again, let's get a discussion going here on the Data Dash channel and help one another out so we can make the best investment decisions we possibly can. All right? What is everyone? That's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.